So around the world with that one.
I think, so for me, while I was a assistant at Breakthrough, I was also working a restaurant job. I hated that job. I hated it like so much, but like I needed the money, you know what I mean? It's gotta pay the bills. But after a certain point, I think I'd worked there for about 8 months and I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like I'm like straight up, like I'm done. Like I've had my fill, I can't do this job anymore. And so I quit that job and then just went all in on doing photo video work. And it's still the only job I had. I haven't had to take a job since then. But I didn't like think this as I was doing it, but in retrospect, I didn't give myself a choice. But to continue moving and
get it back to you.
putting myself in situations to succeed.
Ooh, that's good.
When I'm preparing for sessions, really started at like the beginning of 2024. I had this concert that I had done promotional material for, and it was 9 featured artists. And they're just kind of going on repeat, doing a couple songs throughout the night. And I'm like, I kind of want to know what I'm in for, so I just started listening to their music ahead of time and like thinking about how they think and what they sound like. And that kind of, then knowing what their music is about, I'm learning how they think and how they express themselves. So that helps me capture them when they're performing on stage.
That's dope.
And after seeing those 2 shows, I was just like,
You were inspired.
I want to do that. Like, so I just started writing a little bit, and I think like I wrote my first poem. I think I had like kind of experimented with a little bit like the month prior, but then like I was kind of like somewhat experimenting around different ideas, kind of within the same niche. But then I started going to their writers' workshops that the Sparrow's Fortune hosts. And I remember that the first one I did after I read my poem, Morgan looked at me and she was like, do you want to be a photographer or do you want to be a poet? And I was, in that moment, I'm like, that was really nice. I didn't expect that. Yeah, I think poetry for me was like, that's my way of self-expressing now for myself. From interpreting the world and just ideas, and then I still get to be kind of like playful with the way I write and with the words, that like that is now like filling that creative satisfaction for me, for myself.
Your car with the best fresh ever. Febreze Car fills your ride with sensational scents that will blow your mind. Plus, it stays fresh for over a month. Find your Febreze Car.
And then, you know, from there, I think I'm blessed now to a point where people can come to me. And even recently, I did a mic drop for a client of mine. And he was just like, I've seen your stuff, just like do whatever, as long as it looks good.
Wow.
And so like for people to say that to me, I'm just like, all right, like let's do it. And then that also comes into play with me wanting to like apply the things that I'm taking in all the time. So whether it be with shot angles or the way I'm animating a title card at the beginning of it, like I'm able to then apply what, because people like trust that and they see that there's like a quality behind that and it makes sense for their creative identity. Whenever I'm blessed with children, that is a strong legacy. And he was saying, you know, it goes beyond just like having my name attached to things, but it's all the impact on people. Knowing that I acted people in like the same way as like the documentary, at least hoping, you know, that then leaves an impact on his kids and like seeing their dad in that light. I think that's legacy enough for me.
So listen, you have not only inspired us, but I'm sure others that are watching, others that are listening. So when it comes to taking all of what you've given us tonight and just kind of bringing it on in, what would be 3 takeaways you would give to someone today?
Like, I recently completed a documentary project for Fresh Ramon. His shop was closing down. And so in the process of that, he still came to me and was like, hey, I want to like do this documentary project and talk about the history of the shop and kind of the legacy we're leaving going forward. And as I'm working on this project, I'm just thinking about like, this is like a key moment of like the prime time of Freshie's life, right? You know what I mean? Wow. He's had this shop for X amount of years and he's like middle-aged now, and like this is something that like his daughter or his son are gonna watch to like remember a piece of their dad. It's stuff like that I'm like, I'm leaving this impact and I'm telling this story, but it goes beyond like what they want to tell for their own reasons, but like how are people gonna like remember these?
I'm calling, maybe I'm selfish. I want you to myself, I can't help it.